game was a dogfight, and I think that's why there was just so much emotion poured into it.
Did you get extra, because of what their the fan interaction of them, and all the talk about the start of a rivalry and all that stuff? How much extra did that pour into?
I'm sure it poured in a little bit extra. I mean, we took it, just another game on our schedule. We prepared the same exact way. We came out and we said all week our execution was going to beat their hype. I think at the end of the day, that's what happened. We just executed when it mattered.
You guys were able to kind of hold the 4 or 5 interceptions during the game. So you're standing there on the sideline watching the offense do that final drive. When they're marching down the field, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, as soon as Geno caught that first long pass and started running, I was like, man, we might win this game. And whenever it hacks your quarterback, and you got playmakers like Geno, Jesse James, and Deshaun Hamilton, anything can happen.
Mike, you guys struggled to create turnovers to this point. What was the difference in this game?
I think we've been doing the right thing all season. Finally, kind of broke the ice and started rolling. I don't think we changed anything. Just kept communicating and doing what we've been doing.
Can you speak to the importance of it in a tight game like this, where the offense took a while to get clicking?
Yeah, definitely. It was big today, just because we needed all the help we can get on offense, and I think we did a good job playing complementary football, especially at the end.
Mike, you guys won 15 games. In a situation where obviously you could play postseason and win a Big Ten title. This being the first game after being declared bowl eligible game, does it feel a little different than the last 2 years of the kind of wins that you guys had?
Not too different, honestly. Every single week we went out there and we knew we had to prove something, and we just loved the game. Love playing for each other, and now it was just another game on the road to getting bowl eligible and doing what we want to do and accomplishing what we want to accomplish in the Big Ten.
Could you describe the feeling when you guys, as a group, collectively heard the news this past week?
Yeah, just pure excitement. Honestly, we couldn't believe it originally. Jesse Della Valle, my roommate, told me, and I really, I was like, really? Because I didn't believe everything was taken away just like that. But we're just excited we have that opportunity again.
You heard from some of your teammates who have graduated and moved on about just getting in touch and saying it's great to hear things like that.
Yeah. Actually, Mike Maudie texted me this week and said it was just unbelievable that we had that opportunity again, and to make the most of it. So that was probably the one guy that really stood out to me this week that reached out.
Mike, how much of those guys in the middle settled job that freed up those linebackers to make plays on guys like Paul James?
Yeah, definitely. Those guys create havoc all day. I think Zettel tore it up again today. Had a few tackles for loss, a couple sacks, and he's just so quick in there. And same with Austin, and they just create problems for teams. And we really just have to clean up as linebackers.
As a defensive player, what's it sort of like to have a quarterback on your side like Hackenberg, where things can be going so wrong for you the entire night there, and you're still a chance?
Yeah, that's the great thing about having a quarterback like him on your team. He gets hit all night, he gets pressured all night, and he stays composed. And whenever it comes down to it, you trust him to make the play, and he always does.
What's his personality like, Christian, in the locker room? He seems like everybody's pal, kind of.
Yeah, he's definitely everyone's pal, a down-to-earth guy. Nicest guy you're going to find, and he's just a fun guy to be around. He's one of our good friends. He's friends with everyone on the team.
That sounds like you. You guys seem to be very, whatever needs to get done, even the last couple of years, in some weird circumstances, even on and off the field. What is that about this group, and especially a guy like you, leader around through everything? You guys, whatever it takes.
Yep. That's kind of our mindset. We're just going to do whatever it takes, win at all costs. And I've said this a million times. This team has a ton of heart. Ever since I've been here, everyone just loves playing football, loves playing for each other, and just loves the game. And it makes it easy to go out there all 4 quarters and execute.
Yeah. Well, when I say whatever it takes, is whether Maudie and Zorich, or whether you're switching coaches, what is it about the collective personality that lets you guys persevere like that?
Yeah, I just think we have great leaders, senior leaders, and just great teammates from top to bottom that get recruited to Penn State. Everyone, they're tough kids, they're hard-nosed kids, and they just love playing.
Mike, you've got a young team, a lot of guys playing in their first road game. It gets 10-0 at the half. What do you and some of the upperclassmen say to kind of calm everybody down at halftime?
Yeah, at that point, we knew we had a lot of football left to play. Just had to go out there and execute and keep staying positive and staying on top of everything, and everything will take care of itself, and that's kind of what happened tonight.
Like Trevor started the first 6 games at corner last year, lost his starting job midway through the year. What did you see him go through struggles last year? I know he had switched from offense to playing defense. How have you seen him get better as a player? Would you say tonight was probably his best game yet?
Yeah, definitely. Tonight he stepped up, made a great play on that post coming over the top. And he is a good player. Last year he was new to the position, which is understandable. And I think this year under Coach Shoup, he's just continuing to learn and get better and taking the coaching every week.
Leading tackles again. Was that a matter of pride for you to maybe keep that going, that streak?
No, just flying around trying to make every play that I can. Just do my job, and good things will happen.
When you're watching, from the sidelines, the offense getting the ball with about 3 minutes left to play, kind of what's going through your mind, seeing them do that kind of in Dublin already.
Yeah.
What's the confidence level in that group when you are on the sidelines?
Yeah, I think after Geno got that first catch and started running, we were a lot more confident. At that point, we were like, anything can happen here, and especially whenever you have a quarterback like Hack, he's going to stay composed and do whatever it takes.
People here, they know the guys from Jersey that kind of went across state lines, right? So
I saw there was a coach that said it was a wanted poster.
It was, yeah.
A wanted poster. So, I'll gladly take that. I'll take that. I'll take that and put it on my wall just for that. But it's definitely a good time just coming back and playing in New Jersey. Just playing the game in general. I just love playing the game, and it just makes it that much better to play in New Jersey because I'm from New Jersey.
First time in the stadium?
Playing in the stadium? Yeah.
What'd you think?
All right, it was good compared to Beaver Stadium, but
Finish the sentence. Compared to Beaver Stadium.
Compared to Beaver Stadium, you know what I'm getting at. You know what I mean. But it's definitely a good atmosphere. Definitely a great atmosphere. They were getting loud, and I loved it. So.
Thanks.
After the game, you were greeted by. After the game, you went over and greeted a bunch of fans and your friends and family. Read the.
Yeah, they were. What was it? Yeah, from my high school. Yeah, a couple of parents from my high school and stuff like that. I saw the Hermes logo. I was like, wow, that's cool. You know what I mean? Just having everybody come to the game and surround you and cheer for you and do all this stuff. And it's just a great atmosphere.
People talking all week, texting you, calling you about excited to come see you play Rutgers.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that came up here, and all my family, friends, everybody. It's just a great thing.
So obviously Anthony Zettle's had a monster season so far.
Yeah.
How do you kind of help free him up? Is that you kind of taking on the nitty gritty and him getting one-on-one coverage?
I mean, it doesn't matter as long as we get a W. I mean, I'm in the middle of the team, double team. That's my job. It's what I do, and that leaves Zettle open, and he makes plays. He's fast. He's quick, lateral, and everything. He's so strong, and he just makes plays, and that's what I want him to do.
Talk to me a little more. Obviously, Penn State, historically, and on this team is not complete independent, but really reliant on really top Jersey talent. Now, Rutgers is in the same conference. How does that? You would know. I know you're not looking at schools now. You've been through that process, but you would know, I think, better than most. How does that affect you, both having Rutgers in the conference and then you coming on the road and being in their own stadium?
I think it definitely makes an impact for the recruits and the people, like people in high school, seniors, and all that coming up. And we just have.
Look, which of the schools really on the radar when you're coming up in high school?
Excuse me?
Which of the schools really on your radar when you're like the top recruit coming out of New Jersey to you?
The only school I wanted to come to was Penn State.
Why?
Because it's exactly what Bill said, it's big time football. That's when it comes down to it. So that's what I wanted to go to.
And that's still true, huh? Seems that way.
Yes.
Just one quickly. Paul James kind of came into this game with a lot of hype from Rutgers. How did you guys? What was the key to shutting him down?
Don't let him get started. Sometimes he might like tiptoe in the backfield, but just don't let him get started and going. He's a good back. He's a great back. But we just had to be disruptive up front and just push the pocket back and everything like that.
Great, thanks so much.
Yep.
Trevor Williams has been a guy who's had some tough times and some good times. What do you think that meant to him to come through with a couple of those plays today?
I mean, it's big, definitely. He's a guy that doesn't get down on himself, so it's easy for him to come back. And he had 2 today. I'm happy for him. My roommate, actually. That was fun.
Jersey guys playing well. It sounded like as if you were discussing this a little bit here. What did it mean to come back and have this sort of game?
I mean, it was fun because a lot of the guys had a lot of family here. But besides that, it was just a regular game, away game. I mean, they made it a little bit more big of a deal than we did. We're just glad we came out with them.
Some people kind of called Bill Belton out a little bit. Were you familiar with that? And what was he like this week? He canceled his conference call with us.
Yeah, I think he just felt that was a better idea, not to throw give them any more flame to fire or oil to fire. But he approached this week just the same. He's always a serious guy, and we're just happy with it.
And when that game was over, some players looked like they were saying like kind of shh to their crowd and stuff. Were you among them? Or?
Yeah, I was out there. I was waving bye-bye.
Had you heard some things earlier in the game? What sorts of things had you heard?
Not really. But I know a couple of guys live right down the street from me, and I'll hear from them in the barbershop when I go home or something. So we'll talk about it.
You have bragging rights in the barbershop now?
Yeah, we have bragging rights in the barbershop.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Talk last year we talked about offense. Your big goal this year was to start. You should be in a big way. You've been starting before seeing just talk about the opportunity you had this year.
I'm grateful for my opportunity. I mean, I love playing with guys like Naeem Mormon and Mike Hall. It makes it easy. And the defensive line, I mean, they're animals up there. They make it also easy. We're just having fun.
So Mike was talking earlier, Mike Hull, about what it was like to get the sanctions overturned. He was a guy who was here when they got hit. You committed knowing you might not be able to play in a bowl game. What was that like? Because, I guess you made the decision. It didn't make a difference, but having that as a bonus, is that kind of
having the sanctions come on?
Being able to play in a bowl game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's big. I mean, obviously it wasn't the main focus for us guys. We're just going to play the game of football because we love it. But, I mean, it's also big now. We just have to take one game at a time as we were before, and we'll see what happens.
Rewind a couple of years for me. You're playing Jersey, and Rutgers now all of a sudden in the Big Ten. What does that do to the Big Ten in your eyes, and what does then Penn State, which historically has done pretty well with Jersey recruits, coming in and having this win? Take me through that.
I mean, to me, it's just the competition is even much bigger now. I mean, they're already fighting for recruits, even being in separate conferences, but now we're playing each other. The competition is there. I mean, this game could do a lot for recruiting. It couldn't, maybe not. We'll see.
Brandon also said that there was a scrimmage like before you guys played last year where he kind of took you guys down in the 2-minute drill. Do you remember that?
Yeah, actually I do. It was the last scrimmage we had during I want to say it was either during the spring or during camp.
You said it was preseason.
Yeah, it was preseason. It was preseason, and we played. It was at the scrimmage was at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
And he made some big plays, with his arm, and he made it happen. And I'm very grateful and happy to have him as my quarterback.
So everybody kind of knew from that he was the guy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You guys, you mentioned before about being able to make plays at any time, and I mean, obviously you don't make plays all the time, but it seems like in big spots, you guys make every play. Is that a different mentality? Is that a different kind of execution? What leads to that?
Well, basically, it's like, a lot of things can happen through the first, 3 quarters, and it could go really good or go really bad, but really, ultimately, the main thing that, we need to focus on is the 4th quarter is big, and, if it's a close game, and we just want to go out and make the plays that we need to make in certain situations. Today, that last 2 minute was big, and I got to give credit to our defense. They basically did everything they could to keep us in the game. And we were struggling on offense a little bit, but we got the win. That's the main goal, and our offense made the plays we had.
What were the coaches like at halftime? Maybe on paper you go in there and it's 10-0 and you're in the game, but Rutgers probably could have argued they could have had a few more scores. How were the coaches with you guys in regards to the score and how you guys were?
The coaches are always calm. Like I said before, you don't want to get too high or get too low. They just say, listen, we just got to go out there, be disciplined, take care of all our responsibilities and just trust in the man next to you. And even though things didn't go as we planned for it to go, after halftime, we just kept going. We stuck with it and just kept doing what we had to do.
You mentioned that this team is young, but obviously this is not your first rodeo winning a game like this. What's the difference between maybe the huddle in that Michigan game? I mean, obviously some of the people are different, and maybe how you guys approach tonight.
I think it's very similar. Again, it's do or die type of time, there is that competitive edge that everyone has in that huddle, and the sort of drive to get it done and make a play. Again, you saw Geno come out and make 2 great plays, and then Bill finishing it off. He was working hard all day to try and get yards, and after contact, he was having a tough day, and then for him to be able to do that, finish it off, even though it's a 4-yard sort of scamper. I mean, he did a great job, made the right cut, and fit it in there.
Does it feel any different for you, though? I mean, that Michigan game is the first time you really have that opportunity to do that drive, and now this is the third one you've done. It's like it's old hat at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's old habit. It's always that type of adrenaline rush, being able to go out there in that situation. Each one presents its own challenges. As you see, this one was sort of more penalty play. The Michigan one was sort of boom, 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 and we were there. UCF was sort of methodical, taking our time, getting it down there. So I think each one presents its own challenges, and guys being able to adjust to those challenges and step up and make a play. It's fun to be a part of. It's fun to watch.
We've seen some more emotion out of you the last couple games. James said he doesn't really mind that. I mean, is that just kind of part of growing as a quarterback and being able to vent a little bit while you're out there?
Yeah, I think last year I was sort of the young buck and trying to learn the ropes, and I was going through that growing and learning process. And this year, I feel like I have a better grasp. I've always been that type of way. I've always been the guy that's been fiery and super competitive and want everything to be perfect. That's me. This year, I think, based upon the situation we have a couple guys who have to be like that. Even though if we can prefer to be guys who are sort of quiet, keep to ourselves, and sort of push guys with our actions, we have guys who have the opportunity to be able to step up and do that. Mike Holt has done a great job of that. Behind the scenes defensively, he's always been a guy who's sort of been quiet, and just led by his actions, coming to work every day. So I think it's part of the process.
As difficult as some of these games have been, too. I mean, I guess do you almost feel as if sometimes that's kind of part of it, that to let people know, listen, this isn't good enough, or that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you need to, as someone who expects a lot, as a player of coaches who expect a lot. When it's not good enough and no one's saying it, you have to take the reins and be like, listen, guys, this isn't going to get it done, and we've responded to that well.
You've been running on a Wildcat this year. What's that like for you as a quarterback? Does it kind of mess with your rhythm at all? And I saw you did a couple plays where you were split out and doing kind of trick plays and throwing it from the Wildcat.
Yeah.
So what's your mentality when John Donovan calls in a play with Bill or Akil or?
I embrace it. I mean, it's something that these guys brought in. It's something that I had never done before. Even in high school, we'd never run really a lot of Wildcats.
Well, when you have you at quarterback, you have you at quarterback, I need to trick it out.
At Wildcat thing is something that was new to me, but the type of advantages it gives us are good, and I think it's really helped us. It's a wrinkle in our game plan for teams.
Good, thank you.